Meet the Roblox TikToker with over 400,000 followers who scammed his own fans and friends for over $100,000 in Roblox Limiteds. This TikToker goes by Kazer. He posts to hood content and flexes his items to his Discord e-kittens. The first time I talked about this person, we looked at the many instances of scamming made by him, with Kazer taking advantage of his own fans and even friends to scam them for a total of over $100,000 worth of limiteds. The second time we covered him, we covered new victims that stepped forward to testify against him, as well as his horrible associates Dev Funzy and Kitty. But today we have some groundbreaking evidence Kazer's ex-girlfriend would come to me with allegations of scamming, but not just that, rumors of him a girl that is nearly 4 years younger than him. But before we dive deeper, make sure to subscribe with notifications on to help me reach 100,000 subscribers and to never miss an upload on my channel ever again. So to give a quick rundown of what I went through in my last videos on Kazer, I would expose him for promoting his view botting site that he owned, as well as him abusing people who were trying to call him out. I would also expose Kazer for buying check marks, but go and watch the video if you want to find out everything in detail. But the most important thing I would expose him for were the countless scams that he was involved with, like the first victim, who he would scam for over $1,400, as well as some very rare limited items, as you can see from the screenshots I'm showing you. The first victim would be left without her limiteds and out of over $1,400. And yeah guys, this was actually a fan of Kazer, so this is extremely messed up that he did this. The second victim would be scammed for his fiery horns, an item worth around $1,800, where Kazer would make up fake Instagram DMs to make him look innocent when all it did was make him look 10 times more guilty. And this person was actually friends with Kazer for a very long time, over 2 years. And it just goes to show that Kazer doesn't care about his own friends or fans if it means getting a couple $1,000s. I would even end up interviewing the victim.
So when pretty much happened, so I was trying to get rid of my limb, and I reached out to Kazer. I've known him for a while now. I thought of him as a friend. I thought he also had a reputation with his TikTok. I knew he was higher up in games and stuff. So I thought I could trust him, as you see him with the evidence and the screenshots and stuff. He scammed me out of my fiery horns. The deal was 1.8K, which, is a lot of money. And I was trying to get rid of him because I wasn't going to play the game as much anymore. So I was just trying to get rid of him and just stop playing. Once I gave him the horns, at first, okay, so this was a red flag I should have seen from the beginning. He was trying to take other small limbs from me, and I brought that up. I was like, oh, you're trying to take my other stuff too? But he was like, oh, just send me the trade again. So once I did that, he accepted the trade, and I never got the money. So he showed me his quote-unquote cash app and stuff of him, showed me his funds, the proof that he could pay for it. So I really trusted this guy, man. You can't really be trusting TikTokers or anything higher ups, because you never know what they're gonna do.
The next victim I would cover would get scammed for their super happy face limited item, where Kazer would pull the same shit and end up scamming this person. And ever since uploading my video, it would get over 200,000 views, and a lot more people would come out and speak against Kazer and his scamming behavior. Go and watch my last video to get the full context after this one, because there is a lot of stuff that I haven't even talked about surrounding Kazer's horrible behavior. But today we are talking about something that honestly shocks me. To give some context, before we get into the screenshots, this person contacted me a few months ago, but was only allowed to send me proof as of the last week. And this person was Kazer's ex-girlfriend. Yeah, this wasn't just another fan or friend. This was someone who was in a 2-year relationship with Kazer, just to go ahead and scam her. She would also claim that this goes so much deeper, and Kazer is much more horrible than just a scammer. The first screenshot that was provided to me was this. Kazer owned $2,000 to this person, and they would rightfully request this from his Cash App. This is where Kazer would agree to sending the money, but sounded pretty pissed about losing the $2,000. Obviously, he wouldn't actually send the money, using the same shitty excuse he has always used, that the money is quote, pending, unquote. And he would show these screenshots that were supposed to be proof that he sent the transaction. But then all of a sudden, Kazer would start to get aggressive with the victim over the money and would apparently pull out of the transaction for his quote, safety, unquote, which is such a joke. And it's clear that he is doing this to try and scam the person, with the victim confirming to Kazer directly that she didn't receive the funds, where Kazer would ignore the message and even threaten the victim to remove them on Discord, with the victim giving me some context to what was happening during that conversation.
Basically, in the middle of waiting for my money and the transaction to come through, we broke up. He broke up with me. There were times where he told me I was moving federal because I kept asking about how he would get me my money, and I would question how long or anything about the process because I was very patient and waited days without even saying anything. By the time we had broken up and I wanted him to pay me, even while broken up, I waited for the money that never came. He had already traded off all of my items.
Where the victim would lose all of her items and the money that she was supposed to receive for said items. And to prove that these were real, this was the first trade, this was the second trade, this was the third trade, and this was the fourth trade, with a total value of over 1 million Robux. So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that Kazer is heartless and really doesn't care who he scams, as long as he can make an extra buck. I actually can't believe he scammed his own girlfriend. Like, that is so low. The victim would then come to me and speak on a potential case of allegedly done by Kazer, reading,
And another case is about his allegations. The person that he is always getting accused of doing things with that you aren't supposed to be doing with is a who was a friend of mine. I knew her before I knew Kazer and even met him through her, which was how I got to know him, which then eventually led us ending up together. Her and I were never particularly close, but we were friends. And recently, about a couple of months ago, she confessed to things I don't think she normally confesses to, in regards of the fact that she always covers or clears his name whenever he brings her up when the allegations are thrown at him. I think that the reason why she does that is because she still cares for him in some twisted way.
I've been sent some proof regarding that situation, however nothing confirms him as a but could be considered if the victim wants to speak out and share more details and prove her age, etc. However, she wants to stay anonymous as for now, but me and my friends will still be making a massive video going over all of that as soon as we can. But for now, take this as what you will. Kazer is a heartless scammer who doesn't care if you are his friend, girlfriend, or fan. He will take advantage of you if it benefits him. But yeah, what are my thoughts on this situation? I think that Kazer is greedy and heartless. He does all of this just for a couple $1,000, and at any moment when he gets exposed and it affects him directly, he can just pull out of everything and leave the internet. He has already been banned by several games and communities, but as soon as my videos exposing him were forgotten about, it seems that he has gone back to normal and is still in these communities today, as some of these communities are actively allowing him and his past actions. But yeah guys, let me know in the comments about what you think. Kazer has his own viewbotting service that he used to promote. He has scammed countless people and potentially has almost 4 years younger than him. But as always, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy content like this, please make sure to subscribe with notifications on to help me reach 100,000 subscribers. And if you want to watch something similar to this, click the video on screen now.